This Yule Cup Group D Winnerbracket Semifinal rematch of WGTL lower bracket final. It is 1-2-0 versus FoCuS and Undead versus ORC. I'm a little giggly already and hopeful expectations of this to be an awesome match. And we got the two players here, two of the greatest that their races have to offer. 1-2-0, the rising star since 2015, the two-time world champion. He has accomplished in 5 years what FoCuS couldn't do in 15 years, and that is win the grand prize. And now they clash again. Remo, I hear you're breathing. What is happening?
Yeah, I couldn't help but leave an audible gasp there, because this is a ghoul build opening. Now, this doesn't have to mean Crypt Lord, but this could mean Crypt Lord. Papa Roach has of course been all the rage since the patch, at least in Europe it has. On NetEase, people are still refusing. 1-2-0, one of the innovators who shows Undead the way. Is this finally the time for him? Yes! Oh, I'm so happy already. What a glorious day.
Alright, the Crypt Lord meta arrives in China, apparently. Or is he just fooling around and saving tactics for WGL? This is probably the biggest tournament prior to WGL. Maybe he's experimenting, maybe he saw some European replays, maybe he figured it out by himself. So how is 1-2-0 gonna follow the lead of Side and Krav and Wan and Ente to play the Crypt Lord?
eer0, of course, can't forget about eer0. He's been looking very strong with that recently. Quickly, by the way, before we get into the thick of things here, let's run down the map vetoes. Nothing too spectacular here. TM and Terranos removed by 1-2-0. FoCuS eliminates LR and AZ. Leaves us with Echo as the starting map. 1-2-0's loser's pick is Northern. And FoCuS is concealed. Alright, here we go. Crypt Lord, fast expo. We have seen it in Europe for quite a while, but this is, at least for me, the very first time I see this on NetEase. Not just talking about tournaments. Like, I've been, in the last few weeks, watching a lot of NetEase Watch to see if maybe somebody's practicing Crypt Lord, and I saw it nowhere! Nowhere! I was losing my mind! I was like, am I taking crazy pills? What's happening here? But now, finally, we see it. FoCuS's adjustment seems to be, well, he is reading this, apparently. He's playing Farseer, aggressive shop, 2 borrow tech, and quite a few grunts early, thanks to that 2 borrow tech. So he wants to pressure, but not before the expansion is crept. However, not being set up yet. And here comes the Farseer. Now he knows both heroes not yet level 2, but quite close.
Excellent scouting by 1-2-0, of course, sending a skeleton to the upper left to see the Farseer coming. FoCuS with a nice adjustment, having a shop near the tavern. Kind of hard to reach, and yeah, Wolves and Farseer just right-clicking on this Haunted Gold Mine. Farseer had a little bit of trouble, but the Haunted getting cancelled. There's a little bit of experience to gain, and that is level 2 for the Crypt Lord with Impale, or should be Impale. And the Ziggurat stays up, and Nerub Tower is coming. FoCuS. What's his response to the mid-game after the first achievement of the game?
Did he give up a wolf right there? He did, right?
Yes.
That ideally shouldn't happen, but I guess he wanted to get the cancel with that, and cancel was achieved of the Haunted for about 1 minute or so. On Europe, by the way, the counterplay for orcs to Crypt Lord, largely thanks to Grubby's influence, has been a lot of Headhunter play. Not seen here. Not yet, anyways. Tier 2 is progressing for FoCuS, reaching around from the other side. 1-2-0 scouts for this little run-by with the ghoul, but perhaps a little bit too late. FoCuS has the option to commit hard to this Haunted Goldmine. With the TP and the Speed Scroll, he has ways of saving his units, because grunts you don't want to lose too easily. But this one, he lost track of, and that grunt is getting surrounded. Or is he? FoCuS is threatening again a cancel. But seems this time 1-2-0 can keep the Haunted alive.
Looks like it. Tier 2 is about to be done for FoCuS, and then what's the answer? Is it mass air? Will he commit to this Wyvern play, as Tier 2 didn't even start and the Haunted Goldmine is not finished yet? Stealing some experience away from 1-2-0. That is a level 2 Farseer. Gotta be a little careful here. There's still quite some mana on this Crypt Lord, threatening us around now as well. Kind of a almost a double surround. Farseer is surrounded, doesn't have a staff, doesn't have a cloak, so he has to use the TP in a very unfortunate moment.
Yeah, that was a little sloppy by FoCuS. Well done, of course, by 1-2-0 coming in there and closing the surround. But why was the Farseer so deep in the camp to begin with? Why was he against the trees and exposing himself to such a surround? Well, the TP is gone now, but you know, as long as you don't have to rebuy it, perhaps it doesn't hurt so badly. But now the Crypt Lord keeps on creeping, and on Europe we have seen plenty of times already. The scariest moment begins when the Crypt Lord hits level 3.
FoCuS is of course rushing that tech, trying to get level 3 up now. TC, Raider, Walker, or at least Beastery and Torrent Totem. Tier 2 has been started for 1-2-0. We have a Nerubian Tower in the main as well to be safe there. We got a Spirit Tower at the expansion, so he wants to play this super safe. Super close to level 3 now. 3 XP away. FoCuS not allowed to give anything to Papa Roach now.
And he's so close because one more wolf was lost. So a bit of experience was being given away here by FoCuS, perhaps unnecessarily.
Speed scroll.
Speed scroll, looking for the surround. Oh, if he gets this, perhaps he can even get the kill on the Crypt Lord. But against Impale and everything else, it's not that easy. He reaches level 3 as well, but he does close the surround. Impale on the Farseer. That seems like a curious choice. TC is coming in. Must be Stomp at this point.
And it is, but can he keep the surround close? Chain Lightning even invested as well, and he gets that kill. That's a big one for FoCuS. Yes, the TP was lost, but this is way better. The Crypt Lord is benched for about 2 minutes.
Yeah, massive moment right there. Level up for the Farseer, good jumpstart for the TC as well. Expensive buyback, and most importantly, Expo's not getting cancelled. Normally, when the Crypt Lord's level 3 with the level 2 Beetles, it's really hard to keep this counter expansion from getting cancelled. But now, Crypt Lord back from the Tavern, 0 mana. First has to go back to the main. Probably gonna need some mana pots. No second tier yet, by the way, for 1-2-0. Normally, it's always the DK we see following in the Crypt Lord's footsteps.
He just arrived on tier 2. Maybe due to the buyback, he can't really buy it already. Very aggressive TC. No creeping for him. Just aiming for these fiends. Interesting. Double Crypt Fiend build here to follow this up. Got a few spikes. Sorry about that. Okay, creeping on the right-hand side of the map. He can't really breach this expansion anymore, I think, with the 2 towers and all that blight. So stealing creeps is the next best thing to do, while waiting for the expansion to finish.
Yeah, FoCuS right now has the read that with the superior tech he has map control and is trying to steal camps away here. Kind of getting distracted by skeletons. It's always, especially with a TC second, a weird tightrope walk you're doing. Like, yeah, you're kind of strong right now, but what if you overextend on his side and you don't get the creep camps you need? Because this TC is going to be the carry in the late game. The Farseer is providing a little bit of something. It's okay, but it's going to be all about the Torrent Chieftain.
The Beetle Harass starts in FoCuS's base, but there is 2-3 burrows super close to this. Burrow can't help either. So FoCuS knows exactly how to play against it, as it seems. Circlet for the Crypt Lord, who's packing quite a punch by now with +8. Will of course be very beneficial to the Lich. Temple of the Damned on tier 2. What's this?
Okay. If you want to play a mass necro push, you definitely need double temple. That's a strat we've been seeing quite a bit of recently. Unfortunately, I would add. But there's only single temple.
Look at the bottom left. FoCuS has a Walker positioned with Adept, so he's rushing Dispel.
Yeah.
And burrows protect the peons here. There's another Walker here. No mana at the moment, but the magic damage is quite alright against these beetles as well. So, good scouting by 1-2-0 with these burrowed beetles. And now what? Level 3 for the TC. Went of mana stealing. Not too bad against the Crypt Lord at all. FoCuS is really good with the multitasking, saving the peons over and over.
Yeah. Quite annoying here, this beetle play, but so far not too expensive. Oh, now FoCuS only has 4 peons in the main mine. That's a little bit of missed income, but actually in total less than 10%, so not that horribly bad. We do see Banshees coming, and no tier 3, but more upgrades for the Fiends. Gonna be on 2-0 soon.
Early Banshees. Isn't that what you suggest to new undead players because it works against everything? Instead use Banshees?
Yeah, you know, like normally though in conjunction with tier 3 and triple hero. And of course not with the Crypt Lord First Fast expansion. So it's wildly different. But in general, Banshees against Orc always have value.
More beetles in the main at the expansion. Stressful game for FoCuS, but as we said, the walker was already planted. So FoCuS is brave enough to go into that base, losing a raider right away, and sees, hey, damn, there's Banshees. I have pretty much 0 damage if they apply Curse, and my Dispel is on the other side of the map. So let's just leave again.
Yeah, he's playing kind of a soft contain here pretty well, not allowing any more leveling for 1-2-0. Who is now going into a lot of supply. No second hero, no tier 3 though. The late game transition for 1-2-0 isn't looking that hot. But this attack he's forcing right now, he's mustering right now, can be very strong. There's also a nice thing about the aggressive position for FoCuS. He sees this a mile away. And he has a TP to get out if he wants to.
Really sweet split. There's the crystal ball on the ground, but he prioritizes this fight. Epicenter stomp. But can he power through this? Lots of damage on this Crypt Lord. Mana potion for him as well. The splits by 1-2-0 really not that great. The Storm's constantly hitting 5 to 6 units. Good burrows by 1-2-0 though, saving a lot of fiends with that. Statue and Snare. And in FoCuS Fire, there's no destroyers, of course, so the wolves have real good value. Summons in general have very good value. First Walker arrives, the next Stomp hits again. 6 targets. The statue, micro to the right-hand side, can't be reached at the moment, and it feels like FoCuS is losing more, isn't he?
Very durable armies here. One side has Curse, the other has Spirit Link, and there's not really too much Dispel to speak of. Again, the Crypt Lord in front is low HP, but does have a TP this time. Got to level 4, but also FoCuS got quite a few kills, killing more Fiends on the way back. Looking to throw out more Ensnares. And this tier 2 timing by 1-2-0 apparently not working out at all.
Yeah, pretty much destroyed, right? Like, if he gives him the opening, if he gives him half a minute more, 1-2-0 was at around 70. Oh, Chain Lightning with another kill, that's big. But FoCuS forcing the fight. It was a pretty 50-50 fight, I would say.
Yeah, Undead has certainly become stronger on tier 1 and tier 2, especially with the Crypt Lord. But normally you still kind of want tier 3. There's a lot of juicy things you can get, especially Orb and more heroes. Also, Destroyer's not too shabby. Yeah. It looks like 1-2-0 is kind of experimenting here, and so far, the experiment is not going according to plan.
I am super surprised how good FoCuS is against the style. From the get-go, he knew apparently this would be coming. Played the Farseer, played the early Harass. Yeah, the TP loss was not the greatest, but afterwards, great position on the burrow, so he has triple damage against the beetles here. Parked the walkers, and he knew that Impale would be coming probably in the fight, and the splits against that were great. Also, the unit composition I like a lot. Not too heavy on the raiders as the beetles take them out. Goes walkers, rushes Dispel, goes headhunters now for more damage, and even adding a wyvern if there's still no web.
Beetles still making it across the map, still being annoying. Now we do have towers, but still that's gonna hurt the peons a little bit. Some of them will be falling. Crypt Lord creeping bottom left. He is gonna get level 5. And level 3 Impale is crazy good against a big tier 2 Orc army, especially when there's no healer. Then again, Beetle is also not bad.
We do have a tier 3 tech now, and web, so not too much value on the wyvern anymore. Double heal scroll and invo potion FoCuS can afford so much right now. 63 supply only though, level 4 TC, pretty tanky boy with the ring and the parry. No tier 3 coming here. Oh, he blocked in a walker. He has to kill a burrow, that's a little unfortunate. But the rest is very, very fine for FoCuS so far.
Yeah, not that expensive in the grand scheme of things. One thing I would like to see here for FoCuS is a shop at the expansion, but doesn't have one yet. More beetles are coming in towards the expo. 4 beetles, quite a bit of damage. The tower is going to take a long time to take that one out. But the walkers with Dispel can get rid of them very quickly. Disenchant the best Dispel in the game. Only problem is it's pretty expensive. But that's good experience there as well. Level 2 Beetles is 20 experience a pop. And there's a bit more experience in the bottom left corner. If this TC gets to 5, it would be amazing. And as there's no destroyers, at least yet, even level 3 wolves could be really good.
Yeah, I agree. Destroyer upgrade still a little further down the road. We're gonna get a DK second. We got a Ring of Regen for even more sustainability. No tier 3 tech for FoCuS. Never gets his entire army together. Reinforced defenses now. 70 supply. 120. 1,000 gold banked. And waiting for the tier 3 to finish. Orb, Lich. The Lich is gonna be so sick, by the way, if you look at the inventory of the Crypt Lord. Plus 17, plus the Orb, plus 22 damage guaranteed.
The right click is going to be respectable, but the spells not so impressive. Ideally, you want to have level 3 Lich for level 2 Nova and Frost Armor. That is not going to be doable here because Echo Isle is now completely crept, aside from one tiny green camp. FoCuS at 71 supply. Would love to see him go tier 3 as well, by the way, but he doesn't seem to have the lumber. Looking for the next engagement. Again, very deep in. FoCuS, sometimes he's not looking at his army. He goes in way too soon before the TC's even with his forces. Big mistake by the Orc. Lose a few units completely for free.
TC got another heal scroll. Maybe that helps with the recovery. We got Curse applied to pretty much the entire army, and Dispel is needed against the Beetles. That was a 6 stomp, but also the AoE for 120 isn't too bad. Next heal scroll has been used. Master training 50%. DK can heal himself for once, but he's kind of trapped there. He will fall. He got no way out. Oh, lots of healing, but it's not enough. Sweet Impale again. From that Crypt Lord, level 5.3. TC hits the entire backline, but FoCuS's army is all red.
Yeah, very bad start to the fight for FoCuS. He gets the hero kill, yes, but it's level 1 DK. Doesn't really matter that much. And at this point, you can really start to feel the tier 3 is lacking. FoCuS could have easily transitioned into tier 3 if he had prioritized it, but didn't. And now the TC is in trouble as well.
Heal scroll, uses it, needs it, has an invo potion, can swap it, TP swap. Oh, this could be a lot of exit kills for 120. Doesn't commit though. One Raider and one Headhunter left behind.
That was a second very sloppy fight engagement where he wasn't looking at his main army when he was pushing towards the enemy expansion. That is not really allowed. Happened earlier already into the main. There it wasn't punished so hard, but here it certainly was. Upside for FoCuS is he's almost double level 5. That makes a difference. He needs more damage. He is left with a tier 2 army only. His choice not to go tier 3 is becoming very painful in this late game, where both damage and healing via a third hero, Shadowhunter, are missing.
Love the positioning by 120. FoCuS just burned through 3 heal scrolls. And now the items go, or could go, to 120. At least he prevents it. And against that Impale, and maybe soon to be Lich. Oh, no, still not going for it. Well, he still needs it as Impale is so strong. Can he somehow get easy experience? Upper right, a Banshee is coming in. Starts the fight with only, in quotes, level 5 TC. Sweet Impale right before the Stomp hits. The splits are starting to get a little better. It's a huge concave, but still epicenter stomps and follow up by the chain lightning. That's a double kill right here. Statue is falling as well. TC has a mana potion. Level 2 DK finally. But man, this damage is gonna be so sick. Anti-magic helps, of course, but he can't anti-magic everything.
TC in the back with big stomps. Do we see the big Impales on the other side? We certainly do. It's all about the AoE spells over here.
That chain lightning. Oh my god, he gets the double kill with that stomp. Almost a fiend. Looks like 120 is falling apart. 64 supply FoCuS with 60. It's all about the mana. Farseer's already low. Next Impale stomp as well. Man, so many kills. Level 6 for the crit. But does he have the mana for the ult? No, he doesn't. But the right click seems to be enough. Man, the Headhunters are falling like flies. It's so many corpses.
Supply-wise, 120 definitely taking the lead, and this is a fight without the ultimate. Next fight, he's gonna have the ultimate once he gets a couple of mana potions. FoCuS's tier 2 army is not good enough anymore. On the way back, he loses more units, level 3 on the DK, who, by the way, could pass a mana potion over to his Crypt Lord friend. Kodo Beast also gonna fall. This game's quickly starting to slip away from FoCuS.
It looked so good at one stage of the fight, but if the TC has no mana anymore, we all know what that means. A big shift in momentum. How many units here can he save? The Kodo is gone, and with that, a fresh Fiend drops out of that stomach. I don't know what can save FoCuS anymore. He doesn't have a big bank to come through. 120 was banking 1,000 gold plus.
Wow.
So his army, he's back to 70.
Did he skip the ult?
Yep.
What? That's a 2,000 plus damage ultimate. Well, you know, maybe he doesn't need damage though. He doesn't even need a lich. Crippler's always standing in front, putting in the right clicks. And that's more experience for DK and Cryptlord. Heroes who actually can make use, especially the Cryptlord, of ultimates. Oh my god, which is not even skilling, finally.
These fiends are 3-2. So much! Anti-magic on the beetles, so they can't really be dispelled, or they need a lot more to be dispelled. This is sick. They are so tanky. These beetles are insanely tanky. What to do against them?
The Walker numbers are not high enough anymore. TC comes in with a stomp again. But with the anti-magic, there's just no damage. Going for the DK again, but he has potions. DK, the only target I guess he can kill. Yeah, we are at this point. Tier 2 just doesn't cut it anymore. Not even close.
No. Once again, the Crypt Lord is driving over his opponent, just like X-Lord was memeing on Twitter about. Statues are falling, but man, these impales are so hot. More beetles, and yeah, these summons, they could do it alone. GG.
GG.
Damn sweet game early by FoCuS, but then one mistake, one overextension. That was a big mistake though. Losing 10 supply to nothing. Yeah. And that was the momentum shift. 3 heal scrolls for nothing. Didn't accomplish anything in that fight. And that's it.
Yeah, early game, it seems like FoCuS has the plan pretty well set up, but late game, that overextension definitely hurt. Those 2 overextensions, I guess we could say. But most importantly, it was his lumber economy, in my view, that really killed him here. Didn't have enough peons on lumber, so he couldn't go tier 3, he couldn't make a stronger army, he couldn't get more upgrades. FoCuS was stuck on 2-0 upgrades, didn't get further. 1-0 was at 3-2 upgrades in the end. Better upgrades, better tech, higher levels. Of course he's winning that game. FoCuS needs to, if he's playing against that, needs to transition better into tier 3. And this is where I circle back to the build that's popular in Europe right now. The Headhunter build does that way easier. Skip grunts. Don't go grunts. Farseer, Headhunters, Pressure, Counter Expand, tier 3, Berserkers. Then you have damage. Without it, at some point, you just tickle the undead.
I mean, this is probably the first day of Cryptlord meta on Netties, so changing your builds entirely from grunts to headhunters would be pretty wild. Yeah. This might take some more time.
Yeah, true. For this. It's a learning process for everyone who faces this and tries to play against it. Don't know if FoCuS is looking at Europe for trying to see what they do, but European orgs have found a good answer. I mean, that is the Headhunters.
Whenever we were in Asia, Warcraft3.info and the replay section were frequently clicked from our Asian friends. So I'm pretty sure he knows what's up. And I am still very impressed how well he responded to this in like many different single things. But yeah, I'm not there yet. So, next map is FoCuS's map. 1-0 lead for 1-0. And that is Concealed Hill.
And that certainly would be a much, much, much harder Cryptlord expansion map. Probably too hard to pull off if the orc plays aggressively. So this could be a return back to standard. 1-0, of course, a strategic mastermind. He has many strategies up his sleeve, makes him, among other things, very dangerous.
So, this was the first time I've seen anti-magic on beetles. Can you briefly explain how this works with anti-magic shell on summons, if there's a dispel? What happens?
Well, anti-magic shell doesn't care about dispel, so I think it doesn't matter at all.
Wait, so
You can't dispel anti-magic shell. You can only dispel anti-magic potion.
Yeah, so does it protect from dispel, or
I'm not sure.
Is the dispel just going through?
I'm not sure. I would guess it's going through, but I'm not sure. That is a thing worth testing out.
I mean, it still has value against Chain Lightning and Storm. But man, that would be pretty sick. Anyway, we got a Farseer here. Maybe I just talked a bit of bullshit. And we have... Wait, what is this? It's a...
It's an old school Fiend build.
Yeah.
Fast Fiend, late hero. Which in the past always used to be, like a lot of years ago, you always used to be DK. In all the Cryptlord craziness on Europe, I've never seen this build with Cryptlord before, but, you know, who knows?
But we've also never seen this tier 2 Banshee. Okay, it is a DK, so this might be the first time I see 1-0 play Fast Fiends.
Yeah, and this is probably in response to the ORC strategy on this map. This map almost always is Farseer expansion. Farseer tier 2 expansion, that is. And maybe 1-0's goal here is creep level 2 quickly, get like 3 Fiends.
Snipe wolves with the damage you get?
Yeah. Interesting. Normally, obviously, it's always a Tet Fiend build, which especially on this map creeps just as fast as the Fiend opening. Fiend opening, though, has the benefit of getting Fiends more quickly.
That's why it's called a Fiend opening, huh?
Probably. Seems to make sense.
Ah. So DK out, creeping starts, and FoCuS is teching already. No headhunters.
Sells the TP, buys the skull. Wait a minute, is he tower pushing? He's tower pushing. Oh my god.
Whoa! Whoa, against the fast tech. It kind of makes sense.
I mean, against the Farseer, though, it kind of doesn't make sense. This used to be the strat against Blade Master, who is limited by his melee disadvantage.
Well, he has no read, right?
Now he sees it. Alright, Farseer level 2. 23 supply without a tech, that's very suspicious.
Mm-hmm. Because could still go very heavy feats and then tech, but... Well, he's trying it though. Acolyte on the way over.
Oh, and FoCuS forgetting to make more grunts. Okay, finally now he does. I think that's about 10 seconds late though on the second grunt, which normally doesn't matter that much, but in a situation like this, it's crucial. Also, the first grunt that he has, being almost dead, is a big problem. I mean, we can't blame him for not predicting this strategy. Nobody frickin' plays a tower push anymore. But 1-0 with his bag of tricks, man, he's just unlimited in strats.
Alright, let's go. Farseer with the staff. Here comes the towers. One Fiend is already hurt, but there's coils, and there's plenty of coils, pretty much. A lot of necromancy might be an issue. Does he have backpack? Would be great to see. Chain Lightning kills the Acolyte, but there's another one coming, I think.
So, what's to target first? Well, I guess if he takes out the Ziggurats, they can't be remade for a little while. But yeah, as you said, Acolyte not too far away. Level 2 on the DK, thanks to the wolves, that helps immensely with everything.
Will this tower go through? FoCuS has to throw so much damage on the Ziggurat. And a new Acolyte is here. This might be a grunt kill with decent focus fire. Naga second. We've seen this with FoCuS before. He's used to that. But will it be able to protect him from this tower push? Narrow in upgrade. Well, it's ready, and it wasn't even the last one. This is a narrow tower up.
Yeah, and that one won't be falling with the Acolytes here for repair. Uh-oh. Can he get a... He doesn't have a War Mill, so can't go for a Demolisher.
Trying to surround the DK. But the wolves don't block. And yeah, hello, narrow tower. No TC, no SH. It's a Naga for pressure. Tearing down the shop. Does he have a graveyard? Oh, of course he has a graveyard. He has fiends. So next one should be a spirit tower, huh? And that's where the damage is coming from. Naga down to 50%. Oh, fiend catches a lot of damage though.
Last second coil, but the DK is now out of mana. Once the Spirit Tower finishes though, there's going to be a lot more damage coming in here. More fiends also streaming in from the main, of course, for 1-0. Naga takes a good bit of damage.
Let's use a potion. That's more resources not going into army. 4 grunts against 2 fiends. The army of 1-0 is of course not the greatest, but now the Spirit Tower is up. And that's more damage, and that's a problem for the heroes. He just doesn't have it. He can't break this, can he? Trying to slow, maybe trying to chain lightning, but that shouldn't be enough. 1-0 should be careful enough. Still no backpack. Would love to see it. Can he make it to the fountain? Looks like it. Unholy Aura. Pretty good. Farsi is about to die. Oh my. 2 heroes about to die. But both are safe.
Seer's getting away, and the towers are starting to drop low. 1 fiend is lost. Okay, maybe FoCuS. Maybe he can do this. The wolves are helping out tremendously. If this was a Blade Master instead, this game would already be over, I imagine.
Okay, Spirit Tower down. He's still got the Narrow, and fresh fiends coming. Naga sees him though. How's the mana for the DK once he's back from the fountain? Seems to be a little overwhelmed. Raiders now, and he taps out. Okay, this didn't work. Despite the Narrow up, despite the Spirit Tower up. Good reaction by FoCuS. The wolves absolute MVP here.
Yeah. Looked very scary in the beginning. That 1 grunt being hurt and the second grunt being late made that quite tough, but the Naga was very smart. Good focus fire there by FoCuS as well. And yeah, Farseer still very good against this strategy.
Pretty sweet series, man. Got a Crypt Lord, we got a tower push, and now 1-2-0's map Northern Isles.
Alright, so Dreadlord first now?
Has to be, right? Or Lich first opening. So, chat is still confused about the anti-magic beetles thing. Toxie says it protects, Nightend says it doesn't protect.
I'm not sure either. I have to test it out. But
okay. Toxie says it absorbs the dispel damage. So if you dispel on a anti-magic shield beetle, you might break the anti-magic, but you're not doing damage to the beetle.
Okay. Normally good. I trust Toxie, but still gonna try it out later. Yeah, that's certainly not bad. Normally, though, in the late game, like, you know, if you're tier 3 and you have triple hero and berserkers, you maybe should be able to shoot through the beetles anyways. But, yeah, we didn't see that in the first map. Now, Northern Isles, this is a map much better suited for fast expansion for Undead, whether it be with Crypt Lord or with DK. Perhaps we're gonna see it again.
All right. We're on the way into our last map of this series. Of course, we got plenty more. Upcoming is TH versus Lin. That's a baller match for sure. But who's gonna go into the winner bracket final to meet the winner of Lin versus TH? And what's the build? FoCuS bottom left on Northern Isles. 1-0 upper right.
Third game in a row where 1-0 switches up his strategy. We saw the Crypt Lord fast expo into a tower push, and now he's playing the standard Ted Fiend opening with a DK. Map control, 1 base, focused. And we've always known that he can play many different strategies, but he's really pushing it to the extreme here. And that makes it pretty hard for FoCuS to get a read. What's he doing? What's the next strategy? What do I need to be careful about? And especially for orcs, this is really rough nowadays because orcs don't scout. Don't send a peon out because they're too greedy for the lumber. The tier 2 timing is too important.
Do we join an era of Warcraft where we could get like build auto wins, which is so rare or was so rare in the past?
It's too early to say that. I mean, we had an element of that always in the game, right? Like with first hero choices, like MK versus Demon Hunter, stuff like that. I don't know.
Okay. Thank you, Babidi, for the 43-month resub. Berlin meets Shanghai with a 4-month resub. Back to Warcraft stream during lunch break. Greetings from Berlin. Rex Start for the 10-month resub. And Lickrest Fallen with 100 bits. Error in the Matrix. He lost despite having a narrow buff. Remo asked Blizzard to fix this. Also, that's Satan, everyone.
Yeah, Nerb was actually destroyed. How is that even possible?
Oh, did you see Kevin Schwimms playing
Yeah.
Mountain Giants yesterday? We're gonna
pretty
show
good.
that clip in the next break or something. That was obvious. That was awesome.
So the choice here by FoCuS is Farseer, by the way, and this clearly tells me that he's having the wrong read. When you go into a standard game, into a 1-base DK Fiend game, against a 1-base DK Fiend game, you don't want Farseer on this map. On this map, you want Blade Master. That is because this map is not very well suited for quick Farseer level 3 and easy expansion. And if you can't pull that off, the Farseer oftentimes finds himself in trouble. It looks like he's expecting the Cryptlord Expo again, looks for it at the natural, doesn't see it, and now he must realize, damn, I didn't anticipate this correctly.
Okay, how can he still make this work? With an expansion, of course. DK down to 60%. This is a little problematic, but can be dealt with. Close to level 2, but not level 2, so no natural HP regen. FoCuS, of course, far ahead in tech building the shop only now. And how much pressure can he do? Can he... leveling to level 2 here. That's a little optimistic, I guess. 4 ghouls, actually.
Didn't even see that. 4 ghouls?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Is he playing the weird WFZ Shade build? Huh. That is not something we see at ORC at all normally. This is what we see against Night Elf all the time, with the so-called happy build. Is gonna give 1-0 a ton more lumber, also gives him some options of bringing out ghouls for creeping, especially on this map, at the Tuskars, that can be beneficial. But slows down fiends. And reduces their numbers, especially on tier 2. Just a bit of trading here in the middle. Nobody's level 2 yet. And I think that favors 1-0.
Yeah, for sure. Tier 2 is coming with TC Beastery, as we oftentimes do. But can he get the expansion up against it? Kind of looking rough for that. I mean, experience is okay. Still no level 2 here. But Pit Lord second.
Oh my god.
What the hell is this?
It's the 2v2 strat. Pit Lord second with Cleave and Howl and Lich third.
What the...
It's impossible to predict 1-0 nowadays.
Yeah. Ooh, this kid is gonna be scary at WGL.
Oh, and Snare though, nicely getting punished by FoCuS. Oh, actually, wait, didn't he have that surround? I was looking away for a second at the Farseer and then suddenly, whoops, Fiend slips out. That's a big deal. Losing one of only 2 Fiends hurts a lot, especially for creep speed. Farseer still trying to get this goddamn level 2. Oh, but doesn't get the last hit. It's the DK instead on level 2. And let's focus the second hero, the TC, unsurprising. But the Farseer didn't do his job. He's gonna get a negative performance report because he's supposed to be level 3 at this point to buy space for the big cow.
Yeah, that's not happening at all. Needs the cow for fighting here.
A player's forces are under attack.
Double slaughterhouse.
2 Fiends, Pit Lord, and double Slaughterhouse. Dude, is 1-0 just rolling the dice right now?
I was about to say, like, is he playing roulette with his builds? What's that? I mean,
against Farseer, it makes sense. And it's, actually, in this game especially, it makes sense. The danger for playing Destroyers against Farseer is when the Orc is on 2 bases and can spam out Wind Riders and Headhunters like crazy for piercing damage. But there is no expansion. 1-0 knows there's no expansion because this Farseer has been played hyper-aggressive, which I don't think was the correct choice. And dealing with Destroyers is gonna be really tough.
yeah,
There's a nice little synergy between Pit Lord and Destroyers as well, by the way. You can use Howl, and you can dispel the Howl for additional health and mana. Of course, dispels the Howl, but the way it works is Howl has like a 12-second duration, but a 10-second cooldown, which means the last 2 seconds you can dispel it, the Howl, and immediately apply it again if you want to min-max super hard.
It is pretty sick. It is a super greedy build, isn't it? He's at 30 supply, only now getting the Ziggurats. Oh, good sentry against the Burrow. Double stomp right here. That was sweet, and the creeps are taking part in this fight as well. Pit Lord surrounded. Oh, FoCuS with some sweet moves.
Alright, great creep jack here. FoCuS absolutely keeps his chances alive. Nice TP transfer there by 1-0. But that's TP gone. Lots of mana lost. Pit Lord still hurt. And yeah, you're right. It absolutely is a greedy strategy. There's not much in the way of actual fighting strength for a long time with this strat. But that Destroyer timing's gonna be vicious.
Man, this reminds me of like 2007 or so, when you tried to break burrows with a Destroyer bust, and if not, then, well, you could just go and GG, as Orc was so OP that day, these days. Yeah, FoCuS not going reinforced defenses. This will hurt.
I don't think even he's going for a Destroyer bust. He's just gonna creep up on this map with the Destroyers. He can creep really well. And if it comes to a fight, he's gonna take a smashing fight probably. And if it doesn't, he's just creeping up the map, and he's gonna have triple hero, I imagine, at some point.
Tavern, Alchemist.
Is it the double minus armor strat, dude? Oh my god.
Without a ranged hero, it's kind of hard.
I mean,
but it is.
The Pit Lord is supposed to attack targets all the time.
True.
Theoretically.
It is Acid Bomb.
Isn't it gonna be pretty hard keeping the Alchemist alive, though?
I mean, yeah, pretty much, and that's what FoCuS is realizing as well. And Snare FoCuS fires not that much damage here, but no items anymore. So yeah, he didn't live a long life, this Alchemist.
Yeah. Also, you're never gonna have Frost Armor. Frost Armor is pretty good.
Well, Destroyers don't need Frost Armor. But Destroyers... Oh, that one almost dead!
Oh my god.
Ghouls are brought to the fight now. Level 2 Pit Lord increases his damage by a lot thanks to Cleave. So, 1-0 supply stack though. It's a lot of stat use, but it's not a lot of Destroyers.
This is quite weird over here. Destroyers still in the fight. Wolves being summoned. Good splits though from the wolves.
Ooh,
Friendly ghouls could be pretty good, I guess, maybe. But these are not friendly, these are just standard ghouls, aka trashy ghouls.
FoCuS is taking, like, he's doing so much damage to these Destroyers. Level 3. And the lack of level 3 for 1-0 hits him hardcore. Not having the level 2 coil. And FoCuS tier 3. Headhunters, Shadow Hunter.
I think if he just has a Lich instead of Alchemist, just spam Frost Armor on all the ground units. This could be really good, but this Alchemist, that's a little too cute, 1-0. That's a little too much.
Thank you, Tectonic, for the 6-month resub, and Mostar for the 43-month resub. So yeah, 1-0, you need levels, my friend. But the thing is, FoCuS heroes are not scaling too bad into the late game either, especially when you look at the inventory of the Torrent Chieftain with a Mana Stone and a Sobi Mask. This is gonna be a lot of storms.
Want 1-0 sticking to his guns, just Destroyers all the way.
Forces are under attack.
Yep. I mean, the abominations will be hard countered by Kodos, so that's not the best transition.
FoCuS this time does go tier 3, unlike the game on Echo Isles. Also adding a third hero, Shadow Hunter, for a bit of healing. I like that. And now it's a pretty comfortable position for FoCuS. If he wins one more fight, somewhat convincingly, he can go for a tiny Great Hall, and that's going to be his win condition right there.
FoCuS has reinforced defenses now, so even a flyby destroyer attack isn't too impactful at all. But he's getting these levels. Level 2 Alk, level close to 3 Pit Lord, level 3 DK. And pretty powerful Pit Lord soon. With +9 damage already. Oh my god, this is the dream! This is 500 mana. A lot of mana regen and dependent. This is overkill. You should give something to the Shadow Hunt. Oh my god, so many storms though. That's 1,000 mana.
Well, can't stop destroyers though.
True.
1-0 knew it all along, you know. Playing around the stomp, I guess.
Okay, FoCuS. I've had enough of this. Let's go for an expansion. Takes him forever to kill this Magnetor. Yeah, without any fiends and stuff, this does take some time and poor reward with the Legion Doomhorn only. Claw +12. That would have been sick for the Crypt Lord.
This Alchemist is so weird. I still don't get it.
He has Chemical Rage as well, no heal spray.
Players' forces are under attack.
Damage!
No Orb of Corruption, by the way. I mean, Chemical Rage. Acid Bomb is pretty much an AoE Orb of Corruption, but it's an issue to not have a ranged hero.
Yeah, but let's see. Let's see what 1-2-0 shows us here.
Did he just buy the Boots of Kel'Thuzad?
Yeah, I did. Oh my, are you serious, bro?
Why?
400 gold? This isn't even a Dark Ranger. Alright, here we go. Creepjack though. Lots of mana on these destroyers. Good dispels as well. TC ready to land the stomp against the heroes, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. This TC really doesn't have good stomp opportunity.
No. I would Hex would be more impactful, I think. Like lots of Hex. Can be dispelled, of course, so it's kind of hard. What the hell?
Yeah, the heroes aren't so good against these destroyers, but the berserkers certainly are.
But the Pit Lord and the Acid Bomb is pretty good against Headhunters once they reach them. What is... Oh, 1-0. Go Wyvern now. Oh yeah, there's no Fiends. There's no Garks.
He's already got Envenom Spears.
Yeah, that's pretty good against Destroyers then.
Yeah, pretty smart.
Also, only the Alchemist can attack air.
Can't get cleaved.
Can't get cleaved. Good responses by FoCuS. The barracks down. With that, no more Headhunters, but he will soon realize that Headhunters aren't his problem.
Yeah, smart by FoCuS. Going for the DK here, lots of folks fire, but dispels the Hex, gets off the invul. There's 4 Wind Riders just chilling in the back.
Yeah.
FoCuS, please.
Oh my. Alchemist though, in a world of trouble as Chemical Rage and Snare. Okay, that hero's gone. Get a little bit of regen on that DK. The Pit Lord is kind of doing it alone. The Wyvern are not part of this fight, and the Shadow Hunter is down.
No.
Yep.
No, FoCuS.
He realizes it now. Oh my god. Pit Lord level 4. Trying to stomp the DK and kill him.
Riders with their Envenom Spears are pretty good.
Zap. Oh, misses the Storm. My god, what a Clown Fiesta now.
If 1-0 wins this game, man.
He's not allowed to win this game.
Oh my
Double
God,
kill,
it's gonna
level
be
4. Death Pact or Aura? It's 1-0.
Can't
so
death pact anything.
True! Yeah, I mean, theoretically, you could go Skeletons or something. But yeah. And there's no response to these Wyvern. He just goes more Destroyers.
Don't
Expo's up
tell
for
me
Focus.
he's winning this freaking game.
Expo is up. It's still a long way for 1-0.
No heal selves anymore. It's kind of scary.
Nuke is Howl of Terror.
Oh, that's a lot of focus fire damage though.
Yeah,
Oh
minus
boy.
16 from the Howl. He really wants this Farseer, right? Oh, dodges it with an
Nice.
invul. That was a sweet play. And here's the Hex. He wants the revenge now. My lordy, this is sick damage. Oh, that's too much damage. GG. The DK Pit Lord Alchemist meta is not settling yet.
Yeah. Classic 1-2-0. Trying out a few things here today.
Yep. Some prep for WGL, I guess.
Keeps his opponents guessing, you know? Keeps them on their feet. Didn't think he was gonna do this here today, but, well, he did. And as a result, FoCuS makes it through into the upper bracket. 1-0 drops down to the lower bracket, where later we're gonna find out if he's gonna start playing serious or if the experimentations continue.
Yeah, this means we get 1-0 versus Lin or TH in the lower bracket semi-final. That's a weird thing to say. I'm not prepared for this, but yeah, if it's not a gold league, 1-0 oftentimes takes things not 100% serious. Jesus Christ. You are gigantic. Due to new screen capture and stuff.
Is the quality better, by the way?
I think so. Chat? What do you say? Is Remo looking better today than usual?
Because with the old software, it was always low res, right?
Yes. Alright, so first game is in the books, second game coming up, and that second game is sick as well. It is TH versus Lin. Get hyped. See you in a bit.